I think one of the coolest modifications you can do to a Mazda Miata is the bikini top. Essentially, a bikini top, if you don't know, is just a soft top without the back window and it's more open. It's essentially just a sunshade that clips into the roof of your car. I love how they look, and I know I'm going to love how they feel. I've been really wanting to do this for basically since I bought my car. But I couldn't find a soft top frame that was within my price range until today. I got a soft top for free. Now, it's a really crappy soft top. It's all ripped, torn, and beat the crap, but it's a perfect donor for a bikini top. I'm going to be able to cut into it without having to worry about a dang thing. It came with the frame. It even came with the weather strips, which I don't really need, but who doesn't need a backup pair of those? So I'm super excited to dive into this project. It's sitting out there on my front lawn right now. And first things first, I have to cut out the rear window, the glass rear window with the froster, which I don't know if that's worth anything, but it's worth looking into. So let's head outside and get started on our bikini top. There's no plans, by the way. I have no blueprints, no nothing. I'm basing my own design off of, dare I call it ingenuity? I shouldn't call it that. It's stupidity. But I got a few photos online to reference, and we're just going to freaking wing it.
Pause the video here if you want to write down everything that I used. This is every tool I used at some point throughout the video. I used 1/2-inch PVC pipe. This is a 90-degree street elbow. I also used a 10-foot section of 1/2-inch PVC to construct the frame that you'll see later. I used Hallmaster products, which is something I bought at Harbor Freight, to construct these straps.
Okay, so this is what we're working with. We've got what's basically already a perfect cut, just from where this top had naturally ripped. And I'm going to try and follow the seams here, going down the side, and just cutting into it where I can. It looks like it's also held in by what remains of this rain rail, but this rain rail is totally smoked. This feels wrong. This feels wrong to be doing. The window is actually pretty heavy, so I kind of want to get it out of here as soon as possible. All right. Well, the window's out. Look at that. Anybody need a rear defroster window?
The first thing I did was I started to pop all of the rivets that were currently holding the fabric to the frame of the soft top. And as you can see, things don't always go to plan. So after my Harbor Freight drill bit decided to die, I just bumped it up a size because it really didn't matter if we damaged the pilot holes for these rivets anyway. It's not like this part of the frame was going to get used again.
Wow, this is incredibly brittle.
Then I moved over to the other side, popped those rivets, and now it was time to start tackling the weather strips. These were really firmly in there. They're held in by a D-clip and then also 2 push pins. And as you'll see later on, I end up actually breaking one of these push pins because it was so fragile. This tool I found to be absolutely useless when doing the soft top. It's designed to pull up carpet tab pins. But in this application, it was actually pretty useful for getting into tight spaces and acting as a claw to pull on. I was not happy to break this piece right here. These weather strips sell for around $100 on eBay, and I knocked off probably $25 on that sale just by that one mistake. So just underneath that weather strip, there's this Phillips head screw which holds on this D-clip. A pair of those on eBay is about $50, which is ridiculous for 2 little pieces of metal. But that is what helps secure the fabric to the frame, and it needed to come out. And once that's out comes weather stripping, beneath which is the metal channel that the stripping sits in. Removing it is straightforward. You just use a Phillips head screwdriver and knock out all 3 of those screws. Once all those screws are out, you can just go ahead and pull that channel off. It's secured by adhesive/tape. Don't worry about it. You don't need it. The same process carries out on the other sections of weather stripping, and try to treat this stuff gently because it actually has real value and you could recoup some of your costs by treating it nicely. Same deal. Screws come out. The front piece also has screws on a metal channel, but you also have these 2 up towards the header of the soft top right next to the latches. Located on the sides of the soft top, right by where the fabric rivets to the frame, are these screws for the tension springs. You may also notice that you still have some rivets from the fabric. Go ahead and knock those out. This is an example of panning the camera, an essential skill for a professional videographer.
This has to be an original top. The way this stuff is just breaking off, there's no way.
In order for us to properly get through this, we do need to snake the tension spring back through the top. And the older the top, the harder this is going to be because you're fighting a lot of corrosion. As you can see on this spring, it's pretty bad. And then the material itself won't flex because it's basically petrified. I'm going to even go as far as saying they're easier to install rather than to take off the top. What you're looking at here is the underside of the soft top. You need to peel back this device that crimps this fabric to the underside of the top. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It wasn't pretty, but I found the best way to go about this was just ripping it out. Alright, now with the material mostly free, it's time to flip the soft top over.
Alright, so I'm pretty much at the point now where I have to start cutting into the frame. Where I'm going to be cutting is directly in front of where the rivet is here for the these soft top springs. So basically everything here back.
The oscillating saw was making quick work of the frame. However, part of the frame is significantly thinner than the inner part. So once you hit the inner part, it just absolutely destroys your blades. And then you have to run to the hardware store to buy a hacksaw.
Oh, we're basically right there.
So with some patience, eventually you will cut through the frame. I found it easier to actually remove the latches if you're going to be using a hacksaw. But yes, the frame did eventually come off.
The frame is now separate from the rest of the top. Here we go. This is what we are left with. Oh yes, perfect. I'm trying to square this off as best I can with the top corner of the top here, because I want this line to come down kind of like this. So we'll have one strip there, one strip on that side. I'm going to basically just take a pair of scissors, cut up this way, leaves us with about 2 inches of material to work with here at the bottom. Our strap is about 1 inch, so leaves us about 1/2 inch on each side, right? And then that side I'm going to have to walk in just a little bit because I know I drew a line, but it's not correct. Alright, there's one side. Applied contact cement to both of the ears of the soft top, and over here, this is obviously the underside, but I have some vinyl strips that I've cut to match that, tacking up as well. I'm going to give this about 15 minutes and then we'll lay them on. Now I really want to make sure I get this right. Just want to lay it down straight and true. Okay, that's not bad. That is not bad. Alright, just do one of these. Get the clamps on. Just to ensure this stays down.
While the contact cement cured, I started to work on a different solution for the straps.
I've shortened them up a lot. I originally had like about 1 foot of slack on this side. I've cut it down to about 6 inches. What I've done too is I've looped the D-ring in here and then cut a piece of that vinyl to shape here, and then I've used staples to secure it to the straps. So this is, on the left is what it looks like underneath. So there's 2 staples running up, and then I come in vertically. Yeah, a lot of really cool stuff going on here. I can't wait to actually get this on the car. Barely gets through. Look at that. Alright, so the straps are complete. I'll be cutting off a lot of the excess here. There we go. Got my straps.
I brought the straps over to the top and started figuring out how I was going to secure them to the top. Ultimately, I went with the simplest option by just cutting a slit in the top and then feeding through.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull this back through. We're gonna cut our notch in here, and then we're gonna feed it up through the bottom, and it's all gonna sit like this, except it'll be worked into the fabric. I was surprised that there's enough thread left on these bolts to hook the D-rings in. And then a few things have to happen with these pipes. They need to be shorter. They need to be painted black. And the width is too much on the top. So I need to take off probably a 1/2 inch on each side so it doesn't push out like this.
My original idea for how to secure the frame was to use these two things. These are just plastic parts I grew on a 3D printer. I realized though that would probably mean it would slide around or tip over, and I didn't want that. So I came up with this design. It's basically a plastic base with a clasp that the 1/2 inch PVC tube can slot into. I ended up modifying this design again later on, which you will see. All I'm doing here is just painting the PVC frame for the top, but I did want to say that all the plastic part designs are entirely ChatGPT, which is crazy to even say, but the design process was literally just telling it the dimensions in my idea, and it came up with it. Here I'm showing where I'll be mounting my plastic parts. I decided I was going to utilize these screws on the wind deflector to mount the PVC frame too, which would make for a much more secure and easy assembly. This design actually had a huge flaw in that it did not clear the wind deflector. So what I did is I made an offset version of this that I'll show you right about now. The only thing I would change about this design is I need to scale it up about 5% because if I'm not extremely careful, the PLA plastic will crack and break from being forced open by the 1/2 inch PVC. You can also see the angle isn't quite right. The PVC wants to be straight up and down while the clasp holds it kind of at an odd angle. There's definitely room for improvement. Different material for one, and then the angle of that clasp. I think one of the biggest pitfalls of using an old soft top rather than buying new material is the fact that it looks wrinkly and is very, very fragile. You can definitely see up close what I'm talking about. New soft top material is as cheap as $80, so it's, in my opinion, a worthwhile upgrade, especially if you got the frame for free and you could sell off some of the parts on it to recoup that cost. A very important part to this build is this piece of pipe that runs from the center of the header to the rear where it connects to the frame. You do this whether or not you have a hard top or not. It helps prevent wind from flapping the top up and down. I found on mine it wasn't enough, so I have to find another solution to that. This is what I came up with. It's just a 1/2 inch PVC pipe, and on the end of it is a cap with a clasp. I was able to actually grow that part without using any supports, mainly because the hollow portion, the part that slides over the pipe, is actually chamfered as it reaches the top, which allows it to grow without support. Overall, I think with improved material and some minor adjustments to the design, I think this is a very viable option for a roll bar-less bikini top. I also like how the PVC pipe in the shot like this is very well hidden. It makes it kind of look like the top is floating. I did run into a lot of wind issues above 50 miles an hour. I'm working currently on a way to improve on that. It's going to have to involve, I think, making the sides a little bit more aerodynamic and less sail-like. The center support bar also has to be physically secured to the top. Otherwise, you're going to have this flapping effect, and everything is going to violently rip itself apart. Ask me how I know. Going back to this example from the beginning of the video, you can clearly see how much smoother the top is with its nice tapered edges. I think if I were to clean up the edges of my own top, I could get it to perform a lot better in wind. I couldn't help myself. I was going to end the video there, but I just decided to go through with showing all this. I was going to do all this off camera, but come on, I got to do it right. This piece of fabric I'm marking on actually used to be on the soft top. This is what was crimped onto the soft top, and I had ripped it off before. It felt really good to actually repurpose this. We'll talk more in a second about how we're going to use that, but this shows the soft top after I did some more trimming. Painting the straps black. In an effort to keep the flapping down from the wind, I'm going to be installing this pocket I created using that old piece of fabric from the top. Here I have the PVC pipe laid out in the center here. That's where it's going to sit underneath the pocket, as you can see the outline there as well. This is contact cement. I'm going to be overlaying this piece of fabric in a second on this, creating that pocket. I just have a piece of PVC tubing acting as a template for the real piece over there, keeping the form so that we have something that we can actually put that piece into. Here I am showing the results of spraying everything black on the exterior. What a difference this makes. It really makes it look a little bit more pro. As you can see, it covers up a bit of the hack foolery that goes on when you have a bunch of different colors that don't match at all. With a little bit of adjustment, that PVC frame can be covered up even more, but I think I've gained the most visibility possible, yet the most shade possible with this top. One final look at the top. I have to clean up these edges a little bit, make some patches, but overall, this is a very solid looking top. I'm really happy with the results. For having just hacked this together and totally winged it, I mean, I hardly measured anything. I mean, the results speak for themselves. I mean, this is mission accomplished for me. If you have any questions about how to go about making your own bikini top, by all means, ask them down below. I will include links to download all the STL files that I had so you can make this as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you stick around.